what makes Gen Z unique? The reason I think it's important to understand them because it'll help set the stage for why each of these companies on stage here are doing something very unique by appealing to them with plant-based foods. A few things that I've learned about Gen Z is that what makes them different, I think the best way I've seen it described is they are the generation that's in search of truth. And what does that mean? And I think if you have to have some historical context around that. Baby boomers were in the shadow of World War II. They built the American dream, all about abundance and consumerism. That lasted up to Gen X, who started to get a little jaded with the whole American dream thing. And then millennials, who came of age post 9/11 in a global war against terror with the economy of the US not the same as it always was. Plus, you add to it, they started to understand the implications of our industrialized food system that we've been relying on for 60, 70 years. So millennials were the first to see the problems with the way we were doing business as usual when it comes to food. And Gen Z have just managed to push it a level further because just think about it. Imagine being born into a world where you have mobile phones and the internet. You have access to nearly all the information ever known to mankind at your fingertips. Also inheriting a world that is our social, our economic, our political systems are not only crumbling, but at least showing some signs of wear and tear. So they now face a future where a college education doesn't guarantee them a job. They're sitting at a vantage point where they can see how every action taken in the last 60 to 70 years has brought us to this point on the planet, and with our food system specifically. And they're kind of left with the cultural and the environmental burden of solving these problems, at least if they want to live in a thriving planet in the next 30, 40 years. So here's a few facts about Gen Z, and then I'm going to open it up for questions and really have them chime in and give their input from their perspective. But if you can really understand this generation, they distrust established paradigms and systems. They value authenticity. They value transparency. They value a diversity of opinions. They value freedom of expression. And the thing about Gen Z is they understand that our traditional way of categorizing people and products and systems are all artificial. They're very okay with ambiguity. They're okay with blurring the lines of identity. And these are important things because that's the reason why Gen Z, because of their openness and their search for truth, as I said earlier, tend to lean towards plant-based foods, which is why we're on this panel today, is the stats are pretty clear. Gen Z is consuming more plant-based foods than most other generations. In fact, 65% of them find plant-based eating to be appealing. And about 79% of them are cutting down on meat consumption. So they are eating meatless at least once or twice a week, sometimes more. And it's pretty obvious why, because they see plant-based as being the solution because, not only is the food great, but they are looking for the story behind the food.